The elusive, exclusive book society is back, and this time we're on the Book Graveyard's channel taking a little road trip to a small fishing village straight out of your nightmares. We'll be live on October 21st, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a special Halloween episode of Eebs, and this time we'll be joined by an expert in horror, Coral from Pretty in Paper Cuts. Don't find yourself in this town after dark, and whatever you do, don't look at the water as we discuss The Shadow over Innsmouth by H.P. Lovecraft. Be there, or be scared.
Gotta hand it to you, Ted. This really is a great party. Hey, Jake, are you feeling okay?
I'm just saying, you don't look so good.
Are you sure you're feeling okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I need to use the boys' room. What? What's going on? They look like they were what? No! Ah!
Did that not make any sense? I'd say not to worry, it will soon, but it might not. Anyway, let's talk about the author. Morton J. Golding was an American author born July 14th, 1925, and he died in 2015 at the age of 90. Golding wrote under the pseudonyms J. Martin, Stephanie Lloyd, and Patricia Morton. It's not much, but that's all I was able to find out about this man of mystery. And as far as I can tell, he only wrote one science fiction novel. Which brings us to Night Mare. Could this be Earth? Brilliant scientist Michael Erasmus stared at the strange room. The people around him began to shimmer into new forms until he found himself surrounded by weird, animal-like creatures, their bestial shrieks filling the air. Besides Michael stood the fantastically beautiful woman who had brought him here. Smiling, she drew him towards her, and now he felt the stirring of changes in himself. Michael Erasmus had dedicated his life to discovering the secret of the universe, but what he was about to experience was far more than he had ever bargained for. Night Mare was published by Dell Books in 1970. I own the first and only edition. It has 174 pages and originally cost 60 cents. The cover is by Bill Skursky, and if I was Bill, I would have insisted on Dell leaving my name off of this. The cover is clip art style, and it's horrible. Not just because I hate clip art, but because it isn't even clipped well. Couldn't be bothered to trim this up? What, did your scissors break and you were like, close enough, the check already cleared, send it? Also, Dell, you really shouldn't write a demoniac battle for planet Earth in a novel lit by the flames of hell, and then slap this googly-eyed cartoon deer on some hunk's body. You can find this book online for $2. Now let's talk about what I liked. This book is weird. This book is super weird. Weird. Let me set the story up for you guys a little bit. Our hero, Michael Buckmaster Erasmus. What? Why are you laughing? That's a real name. That's a normal name, isn't it? Michael Buckmaster Erasmus. Anyway, Michael Buckmaster Erasmus is this awkward, club-footed, stumpy, painfully shy, ugly, sexually frustrated gnome of a man. But he also happens to be a super genius, studying field theory and trying to making understanding the universe his life mission. And one day he's leaving the universe and he passes a car broken down on the side of the road. Now, growing up in his father's auto shop, he can make quick work of any auto or mechanical issue, and so he decides, quite out of character, he decides to stop and help. Now, the driver so happens to be this mysterious, beautiful woman, and to thank him, she insists that Michael go and have a few drinks with her at this nearby club. This club is like nothing Erasmus has ever seen before or experienced before, and almost immediately, strange things begin to happen. Now, despite himself and his stumpy leg, Erasmus agrees to dance with this beautiful woman named Marla. As the night goes on, they end up leaving the club and going to this house party, and this is when things get even stranger and the weirdness ramps up exponentially. As teased on the back cover, the people at this party begin to change. And even though Marla is not changing, it is clear to Erasmus that she is more than she says she is, more than she appears to be. Marla seduces Erasmus, and he finds himself helplessly falling for her, and also helplessly falling into this clandestine world of the ultra-rich and powerful. Things get weirder the deeper he goes, and Erasmus begins to suspect that possibly his chance meeting with Marla was not such a chance meeting after all, and perhaps he's a part of something much larger. Perhaps his research will be used to unlock the mysteries of the universe, or to destroy the world. The absolute weirdness of this book was by far the best part about it. This was an unpredictable ride. I mean, I'm not saying it was a enjoyable ride or a fun ride, but 100% a ride. Maybe a ride's not the right word. Maybe the right word's a trip. Yeah, this is a trip. Night Mare is Eyes Wide Shut, mixed with Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, mixed with Fantasia, mixed with The Devil's Advocate, with a sprinkling of Clash of the Titans. This was hallucinatory and bizarre. Now, I've never done acid, I've never done any psychotropic drugs, but I kind of get the sense that that experience would not be too dissimilar to reading this book. The ending. Oh my gosh, the ending. Now, this book is a psychedelic but slow descent into the strange, and then the ending cranks the weirdness dial all the way up to 11 and blows the whole system. Now, no one has really written about this or discussed this in depth as far as I could tell, although I did see one Goodreads review that I think summed it up perfectly, and all this guy said was, Night Mare is floating on a lazy river onto a trampoline into space. Yeah, I can't disagree. And now, the bad. I can appreciate what Golding was trying to do here. He had a wild idea, but did he pull it off? No, he didn't. He had some severe pacing issues that ended up crippling the overall impact. The climax of this book was so unbelievably rushed. Preposterously rushed. Like, why waste so much time partying in this book? Why waste so much time going horseback riding at Hell Ranch when such incredible world-ending events are upon us that we just breeze through? This might be the best example in recent memory of an author misallocating emphasis. I almost DNF'd the first chapter. I'm serious, you guys. I almost put it down. It was so painfully pretentious. Golding is trying to talk down to us while he's explaining field theory. But here's the thing. I'm convinced he doesn't understand what he's talking about. I seriously had to set the book down and go cool off for a minute and gather myself before I could continue. Come on, Jake, you can do this. You have to do this. After all, this is what you've chosen to do with your life. For free. Yeah, hey, wait a minute. The mystery was good, and it was actually interesting. However, Golding does not understand restraint. He does not understand that less is more. We can all think of stories when a mysterious line is uttered and all of a sudden the paradigm has shifted, deep layers of subtext are exposed, and our minds have been expanded or even blown. These moments force us to sit up and pay attention. They can be startling, and I love that sudden, oh.
I am your father.
Golding took that concept and beat us over the head with it. You're going to think I'm joking. Look at me. Every single line uttered by everyone other than the main character was mysterious. Erasmus is constantly overwhelmed. He constantly does not know what to say or how to react, yet he's just sticking around. He's just there. He's like a stump in this story. I feel like I'm not explaining this well enough, you guys. Everyone is speaking in riddles. Everybody. The conversation is nonsense. Erasmus doesn't understand what's going on. Everything is an enigma. Everything is a riddle. Everything is mysterious, and Erasmus is just there, not like a normal person would just be like, okay, this place is weird. I'm leaving because you're all super creepy. Listen, you can write that Michael Buckmaster Erasmus is the smartest man in the world, but guess what? When all he does is act dumbfounded for 150 pages, sorry, we don't believe you. Many of the weird things that happen don't have a satisfying payoff. Or a payoff. All right, I'm going to set this up because this might be the worst line I've ever read. Erasmus smiled uneasily. The moth-like wings of apprehension brushed dustily at his heart. Shut up. Morton Golding. Shut up. That's the stupidest line I've read all year. Oh, it made me so mad.
Shut up about the
moth-like wings.
Shut up about the
Moth-like wings of apprehension.
This is the most 70s book I've ever read. Sleazy 70s, by the way. I mean, you could almost smell the reefer on these pages. I mean, do you know that these pages are actually made from shredded and compressed shag carpet and wood paneling? 40% of this book is partying, sex, drugs, drinking. 40% of it. That's not an exaggeration. Also, if there's a female on the page, they're going to get naked very soon. Without fail. Every scene. In fact, it got to the point where at the halfway point there's this beach party scene, and everybody's in swimsuits, of course. And I thought to myself, they're going to go skinny dipping here very shortly. And sure enough, the very next page, now an intimacy scene can be tastefully and beautifully done in books, but not by Morton J. Golding. This book is grimy. This book, you can feel it under your fingernails. Morton Golding is kind of gross. And knowing that a majority of his books were written under female pen names, it makes it even ickier for some reason.
Gross.
Spoiler alert, go to this timestamp here if you don't want me to spoil the ending. So Erasmus has been working for a man named Crail. He's one of the richest and most powerful men in the world.
I'm happiest in the saddle.
Crail is also Satan. Well, he's not just Satan. He's also Mars, Ares, Vulcan, and every other villainous god or myth throughout history. We also learn that Marla is Aphrodite, but she's also God. And then we learn that Erasmus is also Osiris, Hephaestus, and Set. He just didn't know it. Yeah, that makes sense. And so, literally, quite literally, we go from having coffee in a diner, flip the page, and now these gods are doing battle outside of time and space with their armies of undead and these cyclopean self-replicating death machines.
Do you have any advice on how to come up with band names?
Yeah, I do, actually, yeah. Band names is a really...
During their battle, oh no, we've accidentally destroyed everything. All of time and space, every universe, every reality, we destroyed it all. But calm down, it's actually not that big of a deal because, I mean, they created everything out of boredom. So it's theirs to destroy. But then Erasmus and Crail get tired of fighting and decide, hey, we should merge and become one because they want to be with Marla. And this is better because separate, neither of them could satisfy Marla or Aphrodite. But together, maybe, just maybe. And then it ends with nothing left of reality except for a cosmic threesome.
Hey there, I have a question for you. Are all the good band names already taken?
If none of that makes any sense to you, that's okay. Don't worry about it. you're not real and you don't matter.
Gee golly, thanks, mister.
So what's the verdict? Thrift Shop. This is unique, and the brain-scrambling weirdness that ambushes you during the last act saves this from returning to pulp. But would I recommend reading it? No, I don't think so. Yeah, but is it spooky? Whip out your PKE meter and let's find out. That's a big fat 0. No chills here. Boo! And that's my review of Night Mare. Have you read this? If so, why? As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time with Vampires of Venus.
Shut